Hi.
Hello, good morning. I'm Francine Marquez.
And I'm Chito Lozada here at the Tribune headquarters.
And welcome to Straight Talk.
Welcome
Hello,
to the Straight
Chito. How are you this morning?
Doing good.
Oh,
We have a
it's a
special
time
guest today, Francine.
Yeah, belated happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Yeah,
You had
yeah. So we
your,
have a special guest.
yeah.
Something that are a lot of Filipinos look forward to visiting his country because of the great food, culture, the
Yeah.
technology, even lots of green lush spaces.
And
So let
yeah.
me introduce. Yes,
And it has been
you're saying.
Taiwan has been the envy of
And let me introduce. Yes, yes,
other nations, yeah. In terms of the
yes. So there
response
you
to the
go.
virus. So
Yes,
that's
yes, pretty impressive. I just read the news. Yeah, so like very few cases, and thank God. Hope it
almost
continues.
none.
They can sustain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the vaccine right now, no, the rollout of vaccine.
So Francine, let's introduce him.
Yeah, yes, yes. Without taking too much time, Taiwan and the Philippines have long been important close
Yeah.
neighbors that also share common values of freedom, democracy, and civil society. But unlike the Philippines, Taiwan has kept the pandemic well under control because of early and effective prevention. That's why for today's episode of Straight Talk, we have His Excellency Ambassador of the Taipei Economic and Culture Office, Michael Peiyung Hsu, to tell us
Mhm.
about the strategies Taiwan applied to successfully contain the virus and the lessons we should learn from them. So, good morning, Ambassador. Welcome to Straight Talk.
Good
Good
morning, Mr.
morning.
Ambassador.
Good morning,
Yes,
Francie, and good morning,
yes,
Chito. I'm very happy to be joining you at the Street Talk of the Daily Tribune.
yeah. You're looking well, Ambassador. Yeah, so which brings me to our first question. How are you coping personally with the pandemic? How do you keep well? How do you
Yeah,
try to prevent it? You look very strong.
and
Thank you very much.
Taiwan has been ranked as among the best countries in terms of responding to the pandemic. I guess number
Yes.
3 among the list of countries which has controlled or contained the virus. So how did you do it, Mr. Ambassador?
Okay, thank you, Chito, and thank you, Francine, for asking me this very important question. Actually, I would like to say Taiwan, has prepared for this pandemic for almost 17 years. Why I say this? If you look at the history, back in 2003, Taiwan was hit badly by the SARS, the
Mm.
acute respiratory syndrome. And since 2003, we know we have to prepare ourselves, and so we adopted, several important measures. First, after SARS, we actually established our central epidemic command center. And
Mm-hmm.
last year, on January 20, 2020, we reactivated this, CECC, the Central Epidemic Control Command Center, to coordinate all the efforts among the government agencies.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we adopted several major reforms, including effective cross-ministry coordination and real-time disease surveillance system, and a medical communicable disease prevention system, and name-based mask distribution, and comprehensive nosocomial infection control. We know, actually in hospital infection is very serious. So since 2003, we already assigned in different regions as a facility, like a big medical center that is responsible for taking, all the patients, who suffer from the infectious disease, and so other hospitals can still provide normal services to other patients. And we also have a nationwide infectious disease health network. That network works very well this time. More than 100 secondary response hospitals are included in our network, and in over 22 special municipalities, counties, and cities, they have designated their primary response hospitals. And so the network also provides the legal authority for transferring patients with highly contagious disease to designated facilities based on public health and clinical need. So this has proven instrumental in protecting health systems and health professionals from being overwhelmed. And so we are very lucky. We learned a lot in 2003. And we also have an early deployment and control measures at the inside. Let me share with you, shortly after we learned that an unknown virus has been detected in Wuhan, China in December 2019, Taiwan Centers for Disease Control began adopting a series of control measures. The Central Epidemic Command Center was activated in January 2020, like I mentioned, and afterwards, they conducted a daily briefing, like the Philippine government has been doing now for a long time. So the daily briefing, sometimes if there is a need, we even have two daily briefing to let people have access to all the updated information. We try to be very transparent to let our people feel comfortable and secure. They know what the government is trying to help the people from the COVID-19 disease. And we also integrated resources, facilities, and the personnel of organizations concerned. So actually, the government, from the beginning, we regard this emergence of the epidemic as a national security challenge. So we dealt with it as a national security issue. And so on January 22nd, 2020, President Tsai Ing-wen convened emergency meeting of Taiwan National Security Council, integrate and coordinate inter-ministry efforts on the containment of COVID-19 outbreak, financial relief, and economic stimulus. And then we have a very strict quarantine protocol. From last year, actually, all the inbound travelers, with the special permission, even for our nationals, after you arrive in Taiwan, you have to be quarantined for 14 days, either at your home or in a quarantine hotel. And then you have to also have a 7-day, we call it a self-health management period. So in total, it's 21 days. So this, quarantine protocols are strictly followed. And there are some other things, I would like to mention. Actually, there are several important measures we implemented. On December 1st, 2019, after we learned the atypical pneumonia cases in Wuhan, China, we invited WHO and the Chinese CDC via email, and also officials boarded the planes and inspect the passengers for fever or pneumonia symptoms on direct flights from Wuhan. And on January 30th, 2020, the public health emergencies of international concern was announced by WHO. So actually, we starting February 10, 2020, direct flights to and from China were suspended, except the 5 airports, and we also banned. We also ask, all the foreign. We also banned the transit, we also on March 21st, 2020, travel was raised to level 3. Level 3 is a warning and was announced for all the countries. So we inform our nationals don't travel abroad, because the pandemic situation is very serious. And also from March 24th, airline passenger transits through Taiwan were suspended. So no more transit, And also I would like to mention that, starting March 19, 2020, foreign nationals were prohibited from entry without special permission. So you can see, very strict border control measures once we learned the seriousness of this epidemic. And so I would like to say the previous experiences we learned in 2003 became our guidelines. So I would like to say we have early deployment. We try to mobilize all our resources and all the government agencies working together, and we regarded this issue as a national security issue. We treated this issue very seriously. That's how Taiwan could successfully contain this epidemic. Until today, we have in total 1,100 cases, and most confirmed are included. Yeah.
What is
impressive?
Yeah, 1,100 cases.
Yeah, and
for the entire year.
It's because of the quick response.
Yes.
Quick response and the preparation that Taiwan has taken
Right.
based on their experience from the SARS epidemic.
And what is amazing, Francine, is never did they impose any lockdown there in the country.
Yes.
Since the start of the
I guess it's
pandemic.
because of the well-managed command centers that they put up.
Right, yeah.
And of course, the protocols that they imposed strictly followed, very disciplined citizens and
Yes.
very stringent government.
We really envy your response, Mr. Ambassador.
Yes.
We are really
And
hoping
right
that
now,
we can
who knew?
apply the same
Yeah.
procedures.
Well, the world is thinking of millions of cases. Here is
Yeah.
Taiwan with 1,000 plus.
Yeah, and I think our nationals, they are very cooperative and very disciplined. They even do more than the government asks them to do, because people understand, if you want to protect yourself, your family, you have to follow the protocols. So everywhere you can see people, they wear the face masks. Yeah, we don't ask people to wear the face shield. You must wear, face masks. And we try to tell our people, if there is no necessity or is unnecessary, try not to attend large scale, social activities. Yeah. So because the people, they understand, they have to work together with government and even the private sectors, the industry. So that's why, Taiwan, we never, had any lockdown. Yeah, and the students go to school every day, and the people work, as normal. So that's how, people, government, private sectors working together. So unity and solidarity is very important.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Ambassador? In terms of assisting other countries, what have Taiwan contributed in providing assistance to other countries? And related to that, is Taiwan's inability to be part of the World Health Organization been a problem in providing assistance?
Okay, actually, in the beginning, we had a stock taking of the PPEs. Actually, in last February, we could only produce 1.8 million face masks per day. And then my government, call all the manufacturers to work together, and they assembled more than 100 production lines. So in June last year, we could produce 16 million, from 1 million to 16 million face masks per day. So with the volume, actually Taiwan donated face masks more than 20 million around the world, including the Philippines. Yeah. and I can give you the details and how many PPEs and the face masks we donated to the Philippines. And actually, we donated twice last year, to the Philippines regarding the PPEs and the face masks. The first donation was made on April 15, 2020. We donated 300,000 medical face masks to the Philippine government. And in June, we made the second donation. This time, we donated more. We donated 500,000 pieces of surgical masks and 50,000 pieces of N95 masks, and 20,000 isolation gowns, and 5,000 personal protective gowns. And we also donated other PPEs to different countries. And because we know, until everyone is safe, then we will be safe. And we also, try to have the webinar to share Taiwan's experience in containing COVID-19. We conducted last year more than 70 webinars with different countries, including the Philippines. And so we also try to work together with other countries in the vaccine later. Regarding Chito's very important question, Taiwan participation in WHO, I would like to say it's very unfortunately until this morning, WHO still consider Taiwan's participation as a critical issue, and they set aside the international security welfare, international health security welfare. They just concentrate on the political considerations. So Taiwan hasn't been able to fully participate in WHO's activities, mechanism, and also meetings. And we hope to see that Taiwan could be invited again to the 74th World Health Assembly, which on May 24 to June 1st this year. And so without Taiwan's participation in the world, there will be an international health gap. And also Taiwan must be included in the World Health Organization activities and meetings, and especially the World Health Assembly. I call on the Philippine government Taiwan's participation in World Health Organization fully in full participation, and including all the meetings, mechanism, and activities. We would like to make contribution to the international health welfare, but we are blocked by the WHO. So it's not fair to the 23.5 million people.
There are two questions for them. Okay.
Well, wow. That's quite inspiring, Ambassador, the way things are really being managed, especially at this time of the pandemic. Our third question is, in a time when the world is also suffering from economic shock and crisis, how is the economic situation in Taiwan right now? But before you answer that, we'll pause for a break.
We'll pause for a break.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fiber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Fiber now.
Welcome back. Francine.
Yes, welcome back. Yeah, we were talking to His Excellency Ambassador of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office, Michael Peiyung Hsu. And Chito, before we had our break, yes, we were asking what while the world is suffering from economic shock because of the pandemic, how is it for Taiwan? What has been the impact?
Thank you for asking this very important question. Like I mentioned, because we had no lockdown, so people in Taiwan still enjoy normal life. Workers go to factory, and students go to school, and everyone could work, and they work not only from home, but they work in the office. So our economic performance last year has been, actually was quite well. I would like to share with you, Taiwan's economy grew 3.1% in 2020.
Wow.
I think we are top 3 in the world. Yeah, top 3 in the world. Either number 1 or number 2. Because
in Asia.
Yeah, not only in Asia, in the world.
In the world.
Economy grew 3.1%. Yeah, because many countries they had the minus
recession.
Yes, negative.
Negative. Ours
they went into recession.
Right.
Yes, ours is 3.1.
And Lord.
Actually, it is because everything is still normal. And also, there was a strong need, especially in the electronic market, products market, because many people work from home, and so the laptops and the computers, sold so well. So Taiwan is a lot, I think a top 3 producer of laptops and also personal computers. So that's why, and also because Taiwan, we have a Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company, TSMC, and the semiconductor products sold very well last year. So TSMC actually contribute a lot to our economic growth last year. And I also would like to share with you, in the first quarter of this year, our economic growth, actually reached 8.16%. 8.16%. Yeah, it's quite, striking, quite well. So our economic performance so far, has been very, very good. Yeah, thanks to the government guidance, thanks to the people's hard work. And also thanks to the 153,000 Filipino workers.
That's Ambassador, can you tell us more about the tourism industry in Taiwan right now?
Right, yeah.
Because we Filipinos really look forward to visiting the country. It was one of the bucket lists of before the pandemic.
Like I mentioned, previously, actually we had border control. So actually now for foreigners, without a special permission, they are not allowed to enter Taiwan. So in the past year, Taiwan's tourism industry relies on the domestic consumption.
Domestic tourism.
Yeah, to go to different scenic spots and to help our tourism industry. And our tourism industry now, they are preparing themselves. Once the border control no more there, I think we are ready to receive the tourists from around the world, certainly including the Philippines. Actually, your Philippine is called the Philippine Travel Agency Association. They are going to have a online meeting to invite countries around the world to in the past it was held at the convention center here in Manila, but this year they're going to have an online meeting, and several travel agencies from Taiwan also registered. They are going to attend this online travel fair, and so they will start to promote Taiwan as a tourist destination in the world. So certainly we are prepared to receive the tourists from the Philippines. like I mentioned, we love the Filipinos, and because we are neighbors, and it's cheaper, and my government also still have this visa waiver for 14 days program for Filipino nationals. So we do to see, we can have more Filipino tourists visiting Taiwan once there's no more border control.
How about Mr. Ambassador? How about the labor market? Would Taiwan be still getting Filipino workers? Is your market open for workers since the economy is growing? So I suppose you would need more foreign workers in your country.
Yes, Chito. Actually, my office will still issue immigration worker visa, FW visa every day. Because of the pandemic, we have to follow the protocols. So now we issue 50, immigration worker visa every day. And so even the pandemic, since the pandemic outbreak, we only suspended our consular services for I think 21 days during the ECQ when it was so severe. The local employee, they didn't have any transportation coming to office, so we suspended our service. But now it's coming back to normal, and so we try to issue more, but we have to follow the protocol. But now we issue at least 50 immigration worker visa every day.
Daily?
Daily,
okay.
Yeah, every day.
50.
Ambassador, in the Philippines, we've gone through a lot of varieties of the community quarantine. How has this affected trade in terms of the Taiwanese investors in the Philippines? Because we do have a lot of businessmen here who set up big companies.
Right. Yes, that's a great, how should I say, the question, you ask remind me of the situation in the beginning of the lockdown. In the Philippines, the Taiwanese businessmen, they concentrated on several areas. First is the Subic Bay, because we have a gateway park in Subic Bay. It was established in the 1990s, and now there are more than 60 companies there hiring. I think it's about 12,000 local people. And then we have a businessman in Bataan, and also in Clark, and also in Clark, Bataan, and Cavite, and also in Manila. And in the beginning of the pandemic, actually, because of the ECQ, the workers are not allowed, go to the factory. I mean, only with very low percentage workers could go, and also the workers, they are afraid of be infected by other workers once they have the COVID-19. So in the beginning, it did affect the operation of our Taiwanese factories and the companies here, but now it is back to normal, and so that's why even the foreign trade of your country contracted a lot in last year, but the bilateral trade with Taiwan actually even contracted, but not as much as your trade with other countries. We still have a very good trade volume last year. It's almost $7 billion US dollars. Yeah.
But Ambassador, can you give us any pointers so that we can rise out of our recession? What Taiwan can, what help can Taiwan provide the Philippines? And,
okay, I think I would like to say, in my observation, the Philippine government also try its best to contain the COVID-19. But I would like to say, we can share with you is cooperative and well-informed citizens. We have been out sometimes. I noticed that some even they at home, at street side restaurant, they didn't wear their mask. So wearing a mask is so important. And even people
mask,
put on
right.
mask, and even people put on the face shield. Sometimes they just lift face shield. Yeah. And I think, a cooperative, well-informed is very important. And I do believe, daily briefing regarding the situation of the pandemic is very important, like your government has been doing now. And I also think, using modern technology is very important. In Taiwan, we contact with using high tech. We use apps, we use mobile phone. We don't use people. Because if you hire people to do the sometimes it doesn't work so well. So we use high tech. When a person who should be in quarantine at home or in a quarantine, if he leaves the place, we'll have the warning to the health workers and the police, so they go to check, the people should be in quarantine. So we use high technology to do the contact tracing. We also merge, big data. We have our national health insurance system for a long time, since 1994. And this time we merge the data of our national health insurance system and also our immigration bureau. So when a person, when he, come to Taiwan at the airport, we could understand, using the big data where he or she went before the trip to Taiwan. And then when a person went to a hospital, through the big data, all the record, of his whereabouts would show on the computer screen. So big data, is very helpful. And then I would like to say, people should be well informed, and the government should be very transparent, and then people should trust the government. I think, like I mentioned, solidarity and unity is so important. So our people, our government, different sectors, they work together. So that's how, we would like to share with your people. And I hope to see the Philippines will contain the pandemic. And so they very cooperative, informed citizen, and very disciplined citizens are very important.
Yeah, Ambassador, during times of emergency, Taiwan is always the first to respond to the Philippines, and we're very gratified with that. So, we hope that the relations will be better from here on with Taiwan.
Sure. Yeah. And actually, if I can talk about a little about the vaccine, there are 3 companies in Taiwan. They are doing the vaccine development. One company is called Immune, and the other is called Medicine, and another one called United Biomedics. These 3 companies, they are either in the second stage or third stage of the clinical trials. And we hope to see the vaccine produced in Taiwan could be on the market in the coming July. And once we have surplus, we certainly would like to share the vaccine with our neighbors, including the Philippines. Even Immune company, now they are going to come to the Philippines to conduct their clinical trials, the second stage and the third stage. And we work together with your DOST. It has been quite a long time, since last year. So we hope to see, we hope to see the vaccine, could be produced, as soon as possible. Even now, we also import vaccines, from other countries, including AstraZeneca and also Pfizer and also Moderna. Yeah.
But I don't think you need too much of the vaccines with the low infections you have.
Because once all the countries lifted the ban allow people to travel internationally. I think vaccination is one of the protection. I think
okay.
still important. Yeah. If you are vaccinated, then if you travel to another country,
Right.
Either your host country and your would feel safe. I think that's very important. So I think vaccination is something we still pursue. Yeah, we cannot only rely on wearing masks, and the vaccination is something to protect yourself, protect others, and allow more economic activities. Yeah, nowadays, movement is actually it has been very restricted. So it's very bad. So I would like to see more movement. Vaccination, I think, is still a must.
Right. So to sum up, Francine, I guess the key factors here are unity and solidarity and discipline among the people. So before we end our interview, we're taking a break, Ambassador. So we're coming back.
Okay.
So, Francine, we're back here in the
yes,
Talk.
A lot of interesting insights, best practices that we can learn from.
Yeah,
our ambassador
and
today,
in a topic which we are all concerned about.
Yes,
about the
that has been affecting us, that has left an impact not just now, but maybe in the coming years, a lot of years and decades to come.
No, we should learn from Taiwan.
Should learn from Taiwan, who've learned their own lessons and now are applying it successfully in mitigating the coronavirus disease.
So let's we're having back
Ambassador Hsu.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Ambassador, my next question would be, we've been talking about the economic practices that has really helped drive growth in Taiwan. What about the cultural programs in terms of relations between Philippines and Taiwan? I know there have been a lot of scholarship programs, a lot of cultural activities. How has it continued despite the pandemic? I think everything is virtual.
Thank you for asking this question. Even during the pandemic, actually we still allow those recipients of Taiwan Scholarship students going to Taiwan. Let me share with you. This is my third assignment in your country. First came to Manila back in 2004. I came back again as the deputy, chief of mission back in 2009, and then I came back again almost 3 years ago. On June 30, 2018. So higher education cooperation is one area I try to promote, very hard. And I would like to share with you, we have scholarship scheme, allow the Filipino young and gifted, young and gifted Filipinos going to Taiwan to study. We offer, every year, almost 40 scholarship. We call the Taiwan Scholarship to here. They could either pursue a master's degree or a PhD degree or undergraduate program in Taiwan, because in Taiwan many universities they offer English courses, so language is no more a problem. And also our academia Sinica, the highest academic institution in Taiwan, they also recruit internship. The interns from most of them came from UP Diliman. Every summer, from July until September, there are about 30 to 50, young scientists, into Taiwan. They work at the Academia Sinica for 3 months, and so to learn, new technology and also new knowledge in their specific, field. And there are now about 1,600 Filipino students pursuing degree, undergraduate, master, and PhD in Taiwan. And we love the Filipino students. They study hard, they work hard in Taiwan. And we also have a sandwich program. It's your DUST and our Ministry of Science and Technology project. The sandwich program allow each year 20 students pursuing PhD degree in Taiwan. They study, and in the meantime, they work in a company, so they can learn and they can use what they learn. So it's a combined theory and practice. So actually, the higher education exchange program has been going very well, and we are going to do it, very seriously. And we would like to see more and more young and talented Filipino students could study in Taiwan. Taiwan could become a leading destination for Filipino students for their advanced study.
That's good to know.
And well, we hope that the Philippines and Taiwan will continue to engage with each other to better help mitigate the crisis, and at the same time help the economy, hopefully.
Yeah, actually, we have a new industrial park developed in Subic Bay. It's about 200 hectares, and some companies already moved in. That industrial park is designed and also developed by Taiwanese businessmen based in Subic Bay. So we hope to see, supply chain is very important. But how you can have a supply chain in the Philippines? You have to attract big company. If one big company, like the electric motorbike, it's called Gogoro in Taiwan, and
Yes.
if such a big company like Gogoro, they could come to the Philippines, then upstream, midstream, and downstream factories will automatically come to the Philippines. So we are working very closely with your DTI and the BOI. We hope to see more Taiwanese locators coming to the Philippines, and we would like to promote the trade and investment very, very hardly. And because we could see Taiwan could also benefit from the trade and the investment, with the Philippines. Actually, we are complementary in our economic, structure. So that's why, I think trade and investment is one of the area we also work very hard.
So we're very honored to have you, Mr. Ambassador, in our Straight Talk program. So Francine, have you any closing remark here?
Well, I guess it's also good that we have because as they say, it takes the world to actually mitigate the pandemic. And having close relations with friendly nations like Taiwan, who has proven their strength in terms of controlling the pandemic, something that we can really learn from. And it's not just because of it works both ways. It's both government and also private sector, as well as down to the level of communities and citizens who've been diligently following the protocols of health protocols imposed by the government. And they learned from their lesson from way back when SARS happened. So it's also something that we could use and learn from them. And a lot of good reflections from Ambassador today.
Thank you.
So, Ambassador, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence.
And
thank you for sharing your insights.
And thank you very much for your very kind invitation and giving me a chance to share with you what Taiwan has been doing and how Taiwan could successfully contain this COVID-19. I do hope to see, we could work together. I do hope to see the Philippines could soon mitigate this COVID-19 pandemic, and the people could get back to normal life, and people could work again. And so that's my sincere wish. And thank you for giving me this chance to talk with your audience. And thank you, Francine, and thank you, Chito.
It's our pleasure, Mr. Ambassador. So I'm Chito Lozada,
and I'm Francine Marquez.
So
and
this is
been
Straight Talk.
Straight Talk.
Thank you.